All right, hey everybody. Today we're going to be talking about subtracting mixed numbers. So we have the problem here, 5 and 1/3 minus 2 and 2/3. Before I get into this particular problem, though, I do want to just talk about subtraction in general with just a basic problem. So over here on the right-hand side, I'm gonna do a little example for you. So I'm gonna do like 423 minus 294. All right, so, and when you look at this problem, it's obvious that 423 is larger, so we can take away 294. But you learned probably in like second, third, fourth grade, somewhere around there, that you have to do some ungrouping and borrowing and regrouping to make this work. Because when you go place value by place value here, when you start in the ones place, 3 minus 4 doesn't work. So you jump over to the tens place, you borrow a 2, you complete that. Okay, that's a 1 now. This is going to become 13. And now we subtract, we get 9. And then we continue to borrow because I can't do 1 minus 9. So now this is 11. That's 2. It's 129. So you can see all this borrowing that we had to do up here. Well, that same process has to take place with mixed numbers because you're looking at the fraction here. I know 5 and 1/3, that mixed number is larger than 2 and 2/3, but if I look at the fractions, I'm going to be taking 2/3 away from 1/3, so that's not going to work. So we're going to talk about how we take borrowing, like we did over here, and apply it to subtracting mixed numbers. So first thing I'm going to do, like I always do, set it up vertically. So I got 5 1/3 minus 2 and 2/3. Now, I did do a little bit easier problem here. I don't need to find like numbers, or excuse me, like common denominators, because they're already 3's, but that could be a process you have to do with one of these questions. So be ready for that. So first thing we're going to do, we always look at the fractions first. So if I have 1/3, I can't take 2/3 away. So just like I did over here, I went to the next place value over to borrow. I'm going to go over the ones here, the whole numbers. I'm going to borrow. And 5 is going to turn into 4. That's pretty normal. But now, instead of just ungrouping, regrouping, and putting a 1 up here and making this 11/3, that's not going to work. I have to take that one whole I just borrowed from 5, and I have to add that one whole to 3/3. But because it's thirds, it's got to be a fraction. And because we already are using thirds as our denominator, let's just do 3/3. Remember, 3/3 equals 1. That's the 1 I took from over here. So now I can combine these two together to get 4/3, and now I have enough to subtract. So now I have 4/3 minus 2/3. Now I can subtract the fractions. Then I can subtract the whole numbers. 4 minus 2 is 2. So when it comes to subtracting mixed numbers, the tricky part is going to be that borrowing step. So be careful. Make sure when you borrow from the whole number, you're adding the whole in a fraction that makes sense with your common denominators. That's how you're going to make this work and work as easy as possible for yourself.